Salut les amis, c'est Daimo, on se retrouve pour la suite des aventures de nos 3 nains. J'ai affecté plusieurs choses à l'inventaire, donc j'ai pas mal d'argent, enfin pas mal, je sais pas trop. Et je vais essayer de revenir ici parce qu'on voit qu'il y a les 3 hordes ici. La horde la plus proche c'est celle-là, ici je sais pas ce que ça va devenir, là il y a BONPRES, ici il y a personne qui va nous aider. Du coup je vais essayer de revenir à BONPRES et je vais essayer d'affronter...
You and the twins approach Goodwater. A huge army of orcs has surrounded the village on 3 sides.
Il y a déjà un village qui a été attaqué
You
par
see
les orques,
smoke
mais
and
il est
fire
défendu.
and hear the battle cries.
En revanche,
The
celui là-bas
village is holding out,
est dans la
but
merde.
for how long?
On va entreprendre la route, on va entreprendre la difficile bataille. Ça va être compliqué, mais on va essayer de s'organiser.
Oh, now it's getting exciting! Archers in front of them, 3 dwarves behind. I wouldn't like to be in their shoes.
Alors honnêtement là... On va essayer peut-être là-bas. Qu'est-ce qu'il fait? Qu'est-ce qui se passe? Pourquoi il va aussi loin? Qu'est-ce qui se passe? Tapez, putain! Chance sur lui. Alors là c'est compliqué. On va avoir lui. On va essayer de faire ça.
Yes.
Toi, tu vas essayer de balayer ça. C'était n'importe quoi au début. C'était vraiment...
Yes? What is it, huh?
Tu balayes ça.
Huh?
Toi, tu vas balayer... ça. Et toi, je sais pas comment on va t'en sortir. Au moins un héros doit survivre. Appuyez sur X pour continuer. Qu'est-ce qui se passe? Qu'est-ce que j'ai encore fait? Ah, c'est bon, ils ont tous leur truc. Que toi qui sais pas trop. Est-ce que je tue mon pote quand je fais ça? Mais ouais, je le tue. C'est sûr que je le tue. Je vais être limité. Comme ça. Voilà, comme ça c'est bien. Oh! Ah, c'est parfait.
Yes?
Yes.
Il est mort.
Too easy!
Ok.
He's wait a moment. And again. They're hitting me pretty hard. Ow! Another one bites the dust. And again. Too easy.
Maintenant c'est compliqué. Mais on
What
peut
is
s'en
it?
sortir.
I need help over here, quickly.
Ok.
Yes.
Lui. Il est dans la merde, mais on peut en tuer un autre. Le but c'est de tuer rapidement les mecs. Donc, on va appuyer sur X. Ah, c'est pas tout ce que je voulais faire. Ok, donc lui, A. Ensuite, lui. On va essayer de taper des petits orques.
As good as done. Kill.
Ok.
Vile creature.
Tiens,
Ow!
tiens.
Another one bites the dust.
Ok.
I didn't hit you very hard.
Oh là, je fais n'importe quoi. Tape, tape, tape.
Too
Ça
easy.
consomme. Tiens. Taper les mêmes, on va taper les mêmes.
Another one bites the
On va
dust.
taper les mêmes. Ok.
see that, men? Now they are warriors. Hey, you down there.
Ça a marché pour
I'll
l'instant.
send you
C'est
some
vraiment compliqué. Hein.
reinforcements. Let's stick it to those
C'est surtout
ranks.
la prise en main qui est difficile.
All
Ok,
right
les
then.
soldats.
Stay close to us.
Tuer 80 d'attaquants. Alors là, faut les rejoindre. Là, faut les rejoindre, mec. Tu fais quoi, frère? On se casse. On se casse.
Hein?
Viens, viens, viens. Allez. Faire une grosse attaque ici.
What is it?
Toi, il faut que tu les écartes. Ok, c'est bon. Ça a pas marché ou quoi? Allez, on reste près les uns des autres. Lui c'est un pote, on va taper lui. Et toi tu veux pas taper. Taper, 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 taper. Taper les mêmes. Tu as un garde? Ça va, ça va.
I didn't hit you very hard. What is it?
C'est bien ça. On va arriver à bout, on va arriver à bout. Oh, j'ai tué un villageois. Ah, je peux bien.
Yes? I need help over here, quickly! They're hitting me pretty hard! I need help over here, quickly!
Another one bites the dust.
Ok.
The orcs' fighting spirit lessens with
Oh,
every
c'est
fallen
compliqué.
comrade. After Kragnar's death, they finally attempt to flee the battlefield. Very few escape the mercenaries' arrows. The leader of the mercenaries approaches you, surrounded by his soldiers. His expression is one of recognition, caution, perhaps even awe.
You're the groundling dwarf that was here a few nights ago.
Ah bah
I've
quand
got you
même.
all wrong.
Je suis à
Thank you for
moitié
your
mort,
help.
mon gars.
A young mercenary runs towards you. He has something in his hands that he clearly wants to get rid of quickly.
Commander, we found this on their leader. It feels strange.
The commander looks at the amulet in the man's hand and makes no suggestion that he plans to touch it himself. You take your opportunity.
May I?
You take the amulet and can feel a tingling on your skin. It is clearly magical.
Keep it as a sign of our gratitude.
The commander bids you farewell with a short nod and moves away. It would seem he thinks he's made a good deal.
Ok, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Je suis pas bien en fait. Hein. Là il y a une autre horde de orques, mais c'est vraiment tendu. C'est-à-dire que faut que je régène pour utiliser la nourriture. Je vais me diriger vers là. Ah, c'est compliqué. 14e jour de marche. Est-ce qu'on va défendre ça? Faut que je parte vers... On va laisser tous ces villages se faire incendier. Ils vont détruire la ferme. Je me suis chié dessus là. Non, ils ont construit leur abri. Ils vont tenir. J'espère. Je vais me diriger vers le village. C'est le nombre de jours qui tiennent.
Axeldale is shrouded in an eerie silence as you approach. There's not a single fishing boat on the river, and many of the houses are now just burnt-out ruins.
The big-nosed beasts have made a grim job of it. Seems they don't like fish.
Boendal gives his brother a reproachful look. There are dead bodies everywhere, but it seems to you that there should be more of them. For a brief moment, you hoped that the villagers had fled. But then you realize that the orcs were probably hungry after their victory, and your stomach turns. Boendal lays a hand on your shoulder.
Let's go. There's nothing more we can do for these people. But maybe there are others we can help.
Attends, si je le poursuis, lui, je l'aurai jamais. Écrit quoi? Cavalerie du roi. Non, je suis pas bien. C'est quoi ça? Talisman de l'initiative accorde un point d'action supplémentaire toutes les 5 secondes pendant la bataille. Ok. Ils ont le temps de se soigner là, c'est bon. Pas entièrement, mais c'est mieux. Tongue deal 650. Ok. Tu vas prendre. Toi, tu vas prendre ça, mon gars. Il y a plus de vie. Et ça, c'est elixir de protection. Artefact. Ok. Continuez. Allez, on va à la bataille.
Clute Meadow is recovering from a recent battle. Green-skinned corpses are being incinerated on dozens of pyres. Some of the buildings were damaged, but repair work is already in full swing. You hear some villagers talking about the attack. It would seem that King Tilligorn's cavalry had protected the settlement and destroyed the army of orcs. But the cavalry have already returned to the capital, Talborough.
Ok, donc là, 3 par jour. Les orques sont allés par où? Ils sont à la ferme là. Je suis vraiment... je suis dégoûté. Ah, la ferme c'est là. Ils ont épargné la ferme encore, il faut que je revienne. Je vais revenir 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Je vais prendre des points d'explorer.
By the evening campfire, Boindale rummages around in his rucksack and pulls out a cheese wrapped in a cloth. He sticks a fist-sized piece on a spit and grills it on the fire.
Ah, there's nothing better than grilled cheese at the end of a long day.
The smell it gives off makes you hold your breath.
Oh, it smells like my socks after weeks of marching in my boots.
Oh, picky, are you? Hardly surprising, considering you were brought up by humans. It's ruined your taste.
Boindale holds the stinky cheese at the end of the stick under your nose.
Eat, and stop complaining.
You pull the warm piece of cheese from the stick. It tastes dreadful. Your fingers will smell of it for the next few days, and probably your mouth will too.
Faut que je rejoigne une ville le plus vite possible, je pense. La taverne.
You arrive at a crossroads with a tavern on the corner. A warm light is emanating from its window, lighting up the road around it. A stone sculpture of a sheep stands in front of the door, and above it a sign, swaying gently in the breeze, reads, "The Stone Sheep." You enter the tavern with a determined stride, and are greeted by a thick wall of pipe smoke. The dozen or so drinkers at the tables turn towards you, then give each other astonished and slightly worried looks. In the tavern, there are half a dozen people sitting at the tables, and just as many at the bar, clearly farmers and labourers from the surrounding villages. Boindale pays no attention to the other guests and trudges over to a table. Together with his brother, you follow him and sit down. The landlord comes out from behind the bar.
What can I get you?
You hear surly muttering from one of the tables.
What are groundlings doing showing their faces here, now of all times?
Oh! Pourquoi est-ce particulièrement étrange de nous voir ici aujourd'hui? Je voudrais de la bière pour mes amis et moi, si je payais ma tournée. Est-ce que ces deux voyageurs se passaient par ici? L'un était un fameux, l'autre un mercenaire. Montrez-moi ce que vous avez à vendre. Nous cherchons une chambre pour passer la nuit.
You stand up and turn to the room.
This round's on me.
The faces of the guests and the landlord brighten up immediately. The landlord gets to work pulling everyone a beer and handing out the tankards. Some of the guests say cheers to you as they get their drinks.
Did two travellers pass this way? One was a famulus, the other a mercenary.
The landlord shakes his head indifferently and mumbles something incoherently. One of the guests is about to say something, but shuts up when the person next to him gives him a poke.
Come on now, tell us what happened. We're all friends here.
The man who was going to speak the first time round looks over to his neighbour, who nods.
Two travellers spent the night here. One had a robe on, the other was a mercenary. The next day they left, all in a hurry. Said they'd been attacked by an elf.
One of the other drinkers finds his voice too.
There was a hell of a lot of noise that night. As if there'd been a dust-up.
You left some gold here for the trouble. I thought they meant the noise, but then I noticed the broken window.
The landlord sighs.
Please don't tell anyone else about this. Who will want to spend a night in a tavern where an elf has been sighted?
Effectivement.
You turn to the guest who'd muttered something about groundlings.
And why is it so strange that we're here?
The man glances up briefly and then stares drunkenly at his tankard and mutters with a slur,
Don't play the innocent. The orcs are terrorizing our lands. And whose fault is it? You let them in.
I was not at the stone gateway, and I don't know what happened. But you can be sure of one thing. Dwarves would never cooperate with orcs. We kill them no sooner than we say them, or my name isn't Boindle Doubleblade.
The drunkard and his neighbour are given a start. They mumble an apology and turn their attention to the beer in front of them.
Ok, montrez ce que vous avez à vendre. Objet du marchand. Ça peut être utile ça. Quantité, on peut la gérer la quantité? Ah c'est ça. On va en prendre. Ah. Ah c'est ce qui lui reste. What? Ok. On va reprendre la route.
Despite Boindeal's loud protestations about wanting another drink, you say goodbye and set off on your way accompanied by the twins.
Ok, un level up niveau 5. Okay. Rien de spécial au niveau 5. Rien de spécial. De la vie en plus, c'est déjà ça. On va se rendre là-bas. Ils ont pas avancé les orques, je pourrais quand même aller les tuer.
There are dead orcs lying in the defensive trenches and strewn over the meadows in front of the city. Some of the locals are busy throwing the bodies on pyres, while others repair the minor damage done to the city wall. You enter the city and the garrison at its centre without being spoken to. It is only when you reach a heavy oak door that leads, you assume, to the commanding officer's headquarters, that you are halted by a guard.
Dwarves, eh? Seems we aren't to be spared anything these days. What do you want?
It looks like you've got an orc problem.
Had. Our scouts detected the army early on, and we were able to repel them without any great losses. A small army of orcs like that couldn't breach our mighty walls.
Your mighty walls look like they're about to collapse under their own weight!
The soldier isn't intimidated by Boindil. He juts his chin out confidently.
At least they stopped the orcs, unlike your dwarven walls in the north.
Dur.
I must speak with your commander.
Commander Valor doesn't have time. He's still very busy dealing with the aftermath of the orc attack.
Commander Valor is dealing with the orc problem, and I have important information concerning it. I witnessed a meeting of the orc lords.
The guard eyes you with interest and tries to judge whether you can be trusted. Finally, he stands up, opens a door, and enters the room ahead of you. The commander looks up from his work. The guard repeats what you told him.
Your information about the orcs could be useful. We have fought them back, but not yet defeated them. Come in.
The commander listens attentively, and now and then asks questions as you tell him about the 3 orc armies and the meeting of the chieftains with the Alv Synthoras.
This sounds very grave. I will send out messengers. We must be prepared.
L'armée orque qui a attaqué Touramo a réussi à s'échapper. Nous devons poursuivre notre route.
The orc army that attacked you was able to escape.
What was left of it? They headed south. Unfortunately, I can't send anyone after them until the damage to the wall is repaired.
The commander looks at you with a disgruntled expression. It suddenly seems clear to him who he has standing in front of him.
If you're interested, you could try and wipe out the mob that got away and collect the bounty.
Killing pig noses and getting paid for it? Where's the head?
You grin at Boindil, and then turn back to the commander.
We'll see what we can do. We must press on. Farewell, Commander Valor.
Kill as many orcs as you can, dwarves. Palandir will be with you.
Ok, j'aime bien les mecs comme ça. C'est eux à mon avis qu'il faut massacrer. Et on va se rendre. Je vais me rendre directement au truc.
You see a camp with a wagon and 2 people on the edge of the path. Behind them, Black Saddle towers up above a thick, dark forest, about a half a day's journey away.
Restez où vous êtes et observez ce qui se passe. Allez voir les humains et leur parler. Ouais, on y arrive. Moi, je pense que je vais aller voir les humains.
You don't want to give them a shock, so you address them while you're still a distance away.
Hello, friends. Is there any space by your fire?
The 2 traders look up and visibly jump when they see you 3 dwarves.
Ah, hello. Yes, of course.
It doesn't escape your attention that you seem to be causing the traders some uneasiness, but you take up their offer and sit down. The twins follow your example.
We're only travelers. We're looking for someone who's said to live on Black Saddle. A hermit.
Someone who lives here?
The traders exchange amazed looks.
If they live here, they must be mad.
Normally we wouldn't stop and rest here, but the horses are too exhausted. Our departure from Parista was delayed and we must have driven them too hard.
Oh. Le mec il veut pas parler. Il est temps d'établir un camp pour la nuit. Ferme ta gueule. Pourquoi vous vous sentez malaise à Noirbourg? Vous n'êtes pour rester avec
Why
nous.
does Black Saddle make you feel uneasy? It doesn't look particularly inviting, but it's only a mountain.
Only a mountain? You don't know the legend?
The trader looks at you and the twins for affirmation, but you all shake your heads.
Black Saddle was once known as Cloud Piercer, and it towered up into the heavens, the upper slopes of pure gold and the summit covered in snow. The humans wanted to attain this wealth, but the smooth slopes and the dazzling summit made the climb impossible. They called on the dwarves to help them. They were able to tunnel up through Cloud Piercer to the top, but they hollowed it out and carried away the gold. The humans demanded that the treasure be shared, but the dwarves refused, and as they argued, the mountain began to tremble. There were too many holes inside for it to hold together.
It collapsed and buried both greedy parties underneath it. The mountain lost its tremendous size and its beauty, and ever since has haunted both humans and dwarves with its erosive hatred, causing even the rocks to turn black over time.
Pfft. Never heard of it. Sounds like human tittle-tattle. Dwarves would never hollow out a mountain so much that it collapses.
You come from Parista. How are things there?
No news to speak of, I'd say. Well, except for Nudin the Knowledge Lusty.
You know Nudin the Knowledge Lusty. Lot Yonan introduced him to you many years ago during a visit.
What about him?
Oh, nothing really. Just rumors.
You nod at the trader to continue.
He's behaving strangely and disappears into his tower for days on end.
Ouais, en tout cas, il est très
He
moche.
looks ill, apparently. Well, that's what someone I know said.
Ah oui, ouais.
Perhaps he got a spell wrong.
Qu'est-ce que t'as à vendre? Une potion de santé encore. Ouais. Parfait.
Later in the night, after eating together and some friendly conversation by the campfire, you all decide to sleep. But you take the first watch. It's a night in which nothing happens, and the next morning the traders set off early. After breakfast, you also continue on your journey.
Ok, on va arriver à Noirjeu. Donc on va s'arrêter là pour cet épisode et on va continuer après. Portez-vous bien et à l'épisode suivant.